Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
Greece prevents Macedonia from getting a date to start EU talks. Greece has managed to prevent Macedonia from getting a date for start of accession negotiations with the EU as it intended. The long meeting of the General Affairs Council ended without a conclusion and screening for Macedonia, though the European Commission and Enlargement Commissioner Stefan Füle had demanded this year for the fourth time that the country begin negotiations, especially considering that it meets all the reforms that the EU has requested. If the 4 paragraphs of the conclusion on Macedonia were known in advance, the fifth, vital one, suffered substantial amendments, and instead of a date for launching the EU accession talks in next June and screening process for the Chapter 24 and 23 of the Acquis, the Ministers of Foreign and European Affairs, under Greece's and partially Bulgaria's pressure, at the end concluded that a European Council possible decision on opening Macedonia's EU accession talks will be based on the report the East European Commission is to publish in the spring of the next year. Greek Foreign Minister of General Affairs Council conclusions on Macedonia. Following the General Affairs Council meeting, Greek Foreign Minister Dimitris Avramopoulos voiced satisfaction with EU's commitment to enlargement and the decision for prior resolution to the name issue in order Macedonia to start accession negotiations with the EU. Opening of accession negotiations with Macedonia is not a technocratic issue but purely political, he stressed, underlining that the outcome from the GAC meeting is a confirmation for the trust in Greece, showing firm commitment to principles and positions, which is respect of good neighborly relations as a precondition that must be met. He noted that Greece's standpoint was supported by a great number of countries having dominant role to the region and the enlargement process. The name issue is a key element with clear conditions for meeting the good neighborliness criteria, the Greek Foreign Minister stated. Members of European Parliament on Macedonia's chances of getting EU talks date. Rebecca Harms, co-president of the Greens EFA group in the European Parliament, considers that Greece needs to be in favor of opening negotiations with Macedonia and that it will benefit from EU enlargement towards the Balkans. Member of European Parliament Hans Svoboda, who chairs the group of the Progressive Alliance of Socialists and Democrats in the European Parliament, voiced a certain level of optimism that it is possible for Macedonia to get a date. He hopes that certain changes exist and that progress is possible. According to him, Macedonia failing to get a date could be bad for the country's stability as well as the region. Joseph Daul, the chair of the group of the European People's Party, hopes that the Council will finally decide to begin accession negotiations, but he added that enlargement is not the Council's main topic. The French member of European Parliament considers that Greece and its Prime Minister Samaras must make efforts to solve the issue because the situation cannot be maintained forever. No progress at government, doctors' talks. The meeting between Prime Minister Nikola Gruevski and Health Minister Nikola Todorov on one hand and doctors striking against the merit pay system on the other has ended without major progress. Certain progress had been made in terms of the system for awarding points to doctors. The 2.5-hour meeting was assessed as positive by the representatives of the Independent Trade Union of Skopje Clinical Center, who nonetheless noted that there was no progress in the talks and the strike would continue. Minister Todorov, on his part, said he would not concede the merit pay reform, announcing to continue talks on increase of salaries with representatives of the doctors' union who were also present at the meeting. Increased trust in President Ivanov, says latest poll. According to the latest public opinion research by International Republican Institute, 58% of the respondents have positive opinion concerning President Ivanov. This marks a 21% increase compared to the Institute's poll in September and December 2010. Approximately 34% of the respondents have negative opinion on the president. As far as the support and the Euro-Atlantic integrations are concerned, there is a slight decline compared to the last poll. 87% of the respondents want Macedonia to join NATO compared to 2008 when 91% said yes. 84% of the respondents consider that Macedonia should join EU compared to the previous data when 87% gave positive answers. The newest poll by the Institute was conducted between the 15th and the 21st of November 2012 on a representative sample of 1,100 respondents. Former Interior Minister trial begins. At the start of his trial for being an accessory to the murder of Marian Tushevsky and Kiro Yanev in 2001, former Interior Minister Ljube Boškovski stated at the criminal court in Skopje he is not running away from the charges but that he is not ready to defend himself. They are made-up events and persons, and I don't understand it. I was taken to the court today for liquidation, and I am psychologically not capable of defending myself from this police prosecution state process, he said. To solve the murder case, the police launched an investigation against 15 people. 3 of those people, Serbian citizens who are at large, are charged with directly committing the murder, while Boškovski and other former and current police officials and officers are suspected of assisting in the crime. It has been announced that a protected witness will testify against Boškovski after the court had rejected the lawyer's request that such a witness not be included in the trial. Traffic Warning Daily Report. Heavy vehicles are still banned to drive on road sections Mavrovo-Debar, Straža, Debar-Struga, Tetovo-Popova Šapka, and Kičevo-Makedonski Brod-Prilep. The traffic on all main and regional roads moves slowly in winter conditions on wet roads. Automotor Association of Macedonia advises drivers to drive carefully as roads may be frosty due to low morning temperatures. Drivers are advised to drive carefully on Debar-Struga, Mavrovo-Debar, Katlanovo-Veles and the Mirkapia-Udovo roads due to frequent landslides. Construction works of Katlanovo-Veles section of M1 highway will continue in the following period. Intensity of traffic is moderate outside urban areas, and the same condition is taking place on the border crossings where there aren't any longer delays needed for accomplishing all the customs formalities. Winter equipment in vehicles is mandatory until the 15th of March 2013.
Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.